Hey guys, here's the gear for today. Pretty much the same as last shave with the Personna blade, Tabac soap, the tallow version, older version, the 46 gap Wolfman WR1. The difference today is bringing a different brush, and that's because the previous one, the knot popped out of this handle, and I discovered it was probably because I didn't score the surfaces properly, and that's but it's no problem to re-adhere with silicone. So I'll do that soon, but I'm going to switch handles, so I'll figure out what I want to put it in. I've had this soaking for a while. This is a Stirling Badger brush, finest Badger brush, and I didn't like the shorter handle it came in. The resin handle from Stirling, it was a black one, kind of short and stubby. And so I broke that handle apart to get the knot out. And I put it in this CravingShaving handle, which I enjoy immensely. Nice and long, barber pole style. Very comfortable for me. I may have a sniff today. I apologize for that in advance. So I used Tabac the other day, and my sense of smell came back, and then it went away. My congestion is pretty high right now, and I think that's why I can't really smell anything. I've got this big old box of soaps that I want to try, and I can't. Some new seasonals I bought from Stirling at Black Friday sales, like Oud Sigma, something like that. Mediterranean Man was another one, and I think there may have been one more, but I can't try them yet. There's no point because I can't smell them. Now they smelled good when I got them and opened up the jars, but anyway, the Stirling Finest here is a wonderful little badger knot that can be a low-cost entry into badger knots. And this is a finest badger because it has a thicker black band. This one you can see the white band right here a little bit, but this is really called a two-band knot. The white band is one band, and then the black is the other band. When this black is thinner, then it's a three-band knot. And those are silver tips, and other High Mountain White, I believe, is a three-band knot. This is a two-band, and two bands usually have a little bit more backbone to them. And for the longest time, this one has. To try to relax it more, I want to use it some. And also one of the tips to be nice and about as soft as they can possibly get for today's shave. And so I've had it soaking for a while. I'm going to get my face wet. Oh, no. Before I get my hands all wet, let's put the blade in the razor. This is what the blade looks like. It doesn't have any writing or anything like that. It did well in the first shave, and this is going to be its second shave. Same on the front and the back, except for maybe some manufacturer's marks right there, some little tally tick things. And it came in this, and here's the important words other than Personna. It's comfort coated, and that tells you which kind of Personna model blade that it is. I don't think they're the same as the Platinums, but I think they might be the same as something else that Personna has. So let's stick this in the razor. Then I'm going to give my face a rinse to just kind of soften up my hairs. And since this is the second use, I'm going to be interested to see if the shave here is smoother than it was on the first use. It was a really a good match with blade in this. This is a very mild WR1 head here. You're not going to see too many less than 46. I was surprised that I found this one, and I haven't really ever seen a 46. Actually, just recently I saw on sale one that was a 46 gap that was a dual comb. On one side it was a 46 solid bar. On the other side it was an open comb but at a much higher gap. And that's the only other 46 I've seen on the market. So I'm really glad that I did jump on this one when I did, because I do enjoy the more mild settings on these types of razors. So let me get my face wet. So it has been a couple days since I used this soap, so it's only going to have a very small amount of residual water on it. I did load for 30 seconds last time, I believe, and my mental note says that while that sometimes is a ton for a hard soap like fine accoutrement soaps, you don't have to load for that long, even if you haven't used them for a while. But with this one, it wasn't too long. Yeah, it did give me more lather than I needed. Let's do a 20 or 25 second load this time. So I'm going to get the brush out of the water, and then I'm going to get the water out of the brush. Not a lot of it. I mean, yeah, a lot of it, but not all of it. Leave a little bit in there. And then, here we go. 45 seconds started right there. Oh yeah, see, some of the residual soap got down in next to the puck, and so now it's not moving around anymore. So 46 is about when I started. I can feel the backbone on this. This one may never relax as much as I want it to. And what, 15 would be 30 seconds. Yeah, so let's not go all the way to 30 seconds. I stopped at like 11 or something like that. So so that guy's good. I'm going to put him in the bowl. And we did end up starting to get the extra here. If you want, you can rake that into the bowl. You can also kind of use it as a pre-wash. Oh, can smell that. Very nice. I blew my nose during one of the breaks. Maybe that helping me to smell again. All right. I'm going to clean up the jar here. I think just 2 days growth we're dealing with today. This longer handle, you can kind of take a right angle grip here and grip that knob. Just no fatigue at all because of such an easy grip. And bam, we start shooting some lather in between the bristles and it opens right up. And we will add some water. How much did I add last time? That's about 16 or 17 right there. Sometimes you don't need to slowly add the water. Sometimes the soap is just fine if you add it all at once. So, starting to slowly thicken up, get all creamy, still very wet because we, haven't combined all the soap with all the water yet. Looking even nicer as we go. It just doesn't take too long. Whip up something cool looking. Should I add a little bit more water? Let's work it for a little bit more first. I have a fan knot from the Stirling Finest, and it's still in the handle, and I really enjoyed it. And so when this 26 millimeter came along, I grabbed it up. I may have even bought it right from Stirling. I may not have bought it used because I thought, I get a lot of handles that are 26 millimeter, so let's get this big softness. Well, what ended up happening was it has a lot more backbone somehow. Whether it's due to just the extra diameter, whether it's due to the fact that it's more of a bulb knot than a fan, it just has more backbone. And so I prefer the other knot. But if you are looking for an entry-level badger, and if you can tell, we've gotten much more creamy now. high performance lather is the Tabac. But if you're looking for an introductory badger, the Stirling Finest, if you like scrub, if you think you might be interested more in having something that has some backbone, you don't want it to be floppy, then that's definitely should be in your list of brushes to check out, is the Stirling Finest Badger. And they do have a couple different at least the last time I looked, a couple different kinds of Finest Badgers. They had some that were around $34 and then some that are around $54. And the 54 did have a 3-letter abbreviation with it, like FDR or TDR or something like that. And it is a different knot, and I think it's more backbone than the one without that, but the cheaper one is the one that I have here, and the cheaper one is the one that I am more likely to enjoy. Oh yeah, pillowy, soft, cushiony lather here. That is actually telling me that I can probably still add even more water. Definitely have plenty of lather to do many passes today. I can smell it just a little bit. Looking good. And it might be about right. Let's take a look at it. It looks awesome. Very luxurious looking, creamy for sure. And that's what you get with Tabac. If you can tolerate powdery, grandma's purse, resiny, woody tobacco scent, it's been around for decades, then you too can have this kind of performance. Fortunately, the artisans of today, Barrister and Mann, Noble Otter, Mammoth, Declaration Grooming, they have lathers that definitely compete with this. I don't think they're quite as good for the lather that I like, but they definitely give terrific lathers. And so while pretty much everybody agrees that Tabac is an amazing performing lather, you do find some people with the Barrister and Mann and those other ones that I mentioned, they may not necessarily like those quite as much. It's not as ubiquitous knowledge there. But the good news is they're pretty darn close, and so many times you'll be just fine. Because it used to be, I would say, here's Tabac. It performs really well. If you don't like the smell, then go to fine soaps. Go to fine accoutrements. Because fine has almost the same performance, if not the same. They have hard pucks that last a long time. And they have several different scents to choose from. Not just the one that Tabac has. But fine quit making those classic hard pucks because the factory shut down that was making them. And I guess they just weren't able to find somebody else to take over the job at the right cost, or whatever. Oh yeah, lots of backbone here. I'm glad I kept adding water. Look how creamy that is. Decadent. I might have to take this knot out of this handle because I really enjoy this handle. And I don't really enjoy this particular knot. It's just, and I even have mounted it as high as it can possibly go. You see, if you use silicone to glue your knots together, and you discover that maybe you have mounted it too low, and you would like to maybe make it higher, because that will give you more flex, it will give you more movement, easier splay, that sort of thing. You can do that with silicone. Pop the knot out, twist it out, pull it out, that kind of thing, without too much fuss. With epoxy, you can't do that. Indeed, I could definitely add more water to this to make it even better, because this is just going to fall on my shirt in a big clump. I'm going to work this on my face just a little bit longer, and I'm going to put a few drops of water on the brush here to help to make what's already on my face even better. But Fine had to switch to the CrvShv, kind of like everybody else. And they've got a good company making them. The same people who make Goodfellas Smile make the new Fine soaps. But to me, they're overpriced. And this is something that Fine Accoutrements, it seems, does across the board. To me, their stainless steel razor was overpriced. And to me, their colognes, their aftershaves rather, are overpriced for what they are. And then their CrvShv now are along the same lines. Too much backbone in this knot. Is that ever going to relax? Yes. If you have a badger brush, it's not going to relax nearly like a boar brush will. Those guys will change over time, you know, quite a lot from how they start out. But a badger does change a little because its splay will change. When you first get it, it may be this kind of angle coming off the knot, and then it will gradually open up. And so, but that's not a big change. And so if your knot is far away from where you might like it to be, maybe it's, you know, to pass that on to somebody else. With this blade, this Personna Comfort Coated stainless steel blade, let's see if it smooths out from that first shave. Because not a lot of blades are doing well with this, with such a mild head. This is starting off really well on 2 days of growth. Very comfortable. I do feel the edge doing its job, and it's moving easily through the stubble. Not quite like butter. But very comfortably, and some people actually might like this kind of feel. Some people want to know that something's being cut. And so if they move their razor across their face and they can't tell that anything has happened, they don't like that. Just a nice, easy, very easy, comfy first pass. So yes, the blade definitely smooths out. And so now that I've done a little bit of rinsing, this is just another instance where those people who are one and done shavers, they like to throw phrases out like, life's too short to use a blade more than one time, or, you know, whatever. And I'm not saying they're wrong, because this is a subjective hobby. Do with it what you want. Enjoy your shaves, whatever that means to you. But they are missing out on smoother shaves, because this one is noticeably more smooth than the first shave on this blade. Edges just get smoothed out, you know, and so then you're left with the true sharpness of the blade from like the second shave, you know, for just a little while. And one and done guys just miss it. But if that makes them happy, don't tell them. Don't tell them I said that. Don't tell them I said it's smoother, because, you know, we wouldn't want them to be thinking about the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. We don't want to disturb their happy little shaving space with the news that comfy, smoother shaves might be just around the corner. And of course, the second pass here, going off very easily and nicely, but as always, I'm keeping that light touch, whether I've got a 499 use blade or whether it's brand new. And that was the second pass, so charge up the brush for the third, and I didn't load for 30 seconds, and as you can see, I could restart shaving right now because I've got another 3 or 4 passes still in the bowl, and this lather right here that's in the brush, it could use a little bit more water actually. So this was one where the soap released its goodness, character, and slickness and all those things very easily, probably because this is a stiffer brush than I used last time. Last time it was a gel-tipped brush, a badger, but very soft badger. This one has more backbone and the tips aren't jelly at all. Ready to go now with that third pass. And of course this one's just going to be like skating on ice. I don't tug at my skin, you'll notice, because I'm just not trying to get that last 1% better shave. You should try it if you haven't. You can reach up and grab your cheek where the lather isn't, pull that up, but you'll notice I pretty much always tilt my chin up and away. It tightens up this area here. Lift my jaw up like that. Same reason. But my cheeks especially, I do turn my head, which tightens them a little, but they could definitely be tightened up more, and I would get a closer shave there. But I just don't care enough to do that. Sometimes a person might take an alum block, wet their fingers, and rub it on the alum a little bit, and then that will help them to, even to a wet face, be able to hold and tug skin certain ways. So that's another use for alum if you do have that as a part of your shaving routine. Again, pulling my chin up and away. There is such a thing as too much tugging. Sometimes I will just kind of hold my neck skin down like this. But I guess I was mainly talking about my cheeks. I just don't. You can reach across like straight razor shavers have to do and lift up that way. That'll get you a closer shave. You can reach underneath your chin and pull down that way. You might have to get a little hand towel to do that, or use that alum trick I mentioned. So definitely try that as a way to get closer shaves. You just won't see me do it very much. And that's the third shave, our third pass. Very nice, close, comfy shave. And I did have just a little bit of tenderness after the shave yesterday. It didn't last even, I think it was gone even before I put the balm on at the end of the shave. And so it was definitely temporary. But I don't even have that today. And so same razor, same lather, same soap. And so this blade and razor, this is a really great combination, which is nice because these Personna Comfort Coated are inexpensive. This is one way they come in the blister packs like this. Look for that Comfort Coated down here if you ever feel like trying these. But they also come in a big rectangular box where you get 100 of them instead of 5. But these are great for traveling, of course, with the little packet they come in. And let's get a good rinse. And now while I've still got a little bit of kind of moisture on my face, Can I smell anything right now? Did I, clear out my nasal passageways? I can smell. Okay, it's coming across better. So I was right yesterday in using Scarn as a balm. This is a cologne type scent from Stirling, and it's named after Michael Scarn, the character on The Office, the alter ego of Michael Scott. Michael Scott dreamed of being some kind of super spy, and so Michael Scarn was his name. And it did go well with the tobacco. Matter of fact, after a while, the Scarn here will kind of fade away, but the tobacco will actually last longer. And so it's really cool to watch those two kind of fade in and out together. But the Stirling is very effective. It is nice and nourishing. Definitely a recommended balm from my personal perspective. Yeah, I ended up making way too much lather. And even this could have some more water added, which would mean it would become even more lather. So you see the way that acts. I could use a little bit more water in there. But maybe that what you're seeing, how you're seeing it behave right now, maybe that's exactly where you might like to have your lathers in terms of hydration, that sort of thing. All right, that was a good shave. So we'll rinse things out. We ended up using how much water? 25 milliliters of water to make that, and like I said, it could have used a little bit more. So that 46 to 11, I guess that would be 25 seconds. 25 seconds was still too much time for this particular brush. This is a soap eater brush where it could definitely chew through some soaps if you weren't careful. What's the problem with chewing through soaps? A lot of you guys like to do that. You'll have a soap that you just want to get through, so you can throw it away and start on your next one, right? So you'll end up wasting soap. You'll load for a lot longer. Load it like you hate it, sometimes people say. But that means that to get the kind of lather that I want, that means I have to keep adding water all day long to finally get there, right? If you like drier lathers, then you can load it like you hate it. And then you'll end up with your dry lather, drier lather. But me, I've got to have this kind right here. And so overloading ends up making me take too longer to equalize everything out as I add more water to meet up with the soap that I have put into the thing. The balm is on, and so I think that's it. The another option was this Aquavelva Sensitive 5-in-1. If my smeller is broken, this is very effective at nourishing your skin. It's also cheap and available many places in the U.S. at least, maybe more other nations and whatnot. And so I undid the cap just a little bit and ran some water through it so I can set it aside, cleared away the soap that was inside there. We'll figure out what we use tomorrow, another day. Smelling good, what I can smell of it, and I think that's it. Thanks so much for watching. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. All the best to you guys. And again, when I hit that 500th shave, I will, assuming I haven't done it already, which I probably haven't. If I have done it already, I would have already given you notice. So don't sweat. If I haven't done it already and you didn't hear about it and you're a subscriber to my channel, then that means I haven't done it yet, because I'm definitely going to put out one of those notices on the channel to let everybody know, give everybody a few days in advance. In case you want to join the live shave, I'd love to have you. Take care now. That's it for now. We'll see you next time we shave. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Bye.